One of the world's most iconic museums, the Anne Frank House, has been recreated outside Amsterdam for the first time as a limited exhibit right here in New York City near Union Square.
The groundbreaking Anne Frank, the exhibition, opens on Monday, which is also International Holocaust Remembrance Day. The executive director of the Anne Frank House, Ronald Leopold, is with us this morning, all the way from Amsterdam. Nice to have you back on Good Day.
Thanks for being with us here.
Having me again.
I know we talked about you bringing it here. It is here. Every particular detail has been attended to. Tell us about this exhibit.
So the exhibit is a first of its kind, full-scale, meticulously recreated annex where Anne Frank, the spaces where Anne Frank and her family were in hiding for more than 2 years, together with another family. And really, now that the exhibition is finished, I walked through those spaces and I was thinking, my goodness, this is Amsterdam. So it is such a wonderful piece of work with such a level of detail in it. But it's part of a larger exhibition, so it's about Anne's life. So it's about the context that shaped her life, that shaped her diary. And it really is a haunting experience.
I was about to ask, as you're walking through this exhibit, and I think we have some footage that we can show, it's emotional because you're very immersed in her life and her experience.
I think what Anne Frank is doing to audiences is she touches the hearts of people, and whether you read a diary, whether you visit the Anne Frank House, or when you come to this exhibition, your hearts will be touched by her story, which is, of course, a story not just about her. It's about 1.5 million Jewish children that were murdered during the Holocaust. So I think it's not just about learning about the past, it's also very much learning from the past. It's also reflecting on how this could have happened and what we can do in order to respond in our communities to make sure it will never happen again.
And it also brings history to life. I mean, we talked earlier, just about every school kid all around the States, read the diary of Anne Frank at some point. Now you get a chance to visualize and see these spaces that you read about, and it really does touch your heart when you're in it.
Yes, and we very much hope that many school groups will going to visit this exhibition. We, thanks to philanthropic support, we can offer free visits to school groups from the New York City public schools.
Oh, how nice.
Do you have to do anything special ahead of time?
Excuse me?
Do you have to do anything special ahead of time if you're a school group?
Yes, you have to book. You have to book online. All the information is on our website, annefrankexhibit.org, and you will find all the information in order to make a reservation.
This is important at any time, but especially with what's been going on in the country here over the last year or so, is it even more important? I know this was planned before the last year, but for people to be able to see this in person.
I think the Anne Frank story has always attracted huge interest, unfortunately also from young audiences. So Anne is their voice. I mean, she's their age when she wrote the diary. So it has always appealed to young generations. But I do think at this critical moment, not just in this country, I think around the globe with the rise of anti-Semitism and other forms of group hatred, I think this exhibition is also very much a call to action for present and future generations to stand against anti-Semitism, to stand against hatred, and I think this exhibition is bringing that message across.
Tell us about the challenges of putting this together, because, it's so detailed, and I'm sure were you there with like tape measures, measuring every room and the bed to the desk, and how challenging was it?
I am so incredibly proud of my team because I call them my magicians. I really call them my magicians because I've seen them working on this. It has all been produced in the Netherlands, then put on a vessel in order to come to New York and being installed here on the location in central Manhattan. It is stunning to see with that level of details to see what they have been creating, and it's just that you will really have the feeling that you're going to the annex, and that you walk through Anne's life. You will be immersed. You will be in Amsterdam in 1941.
Wow.
You will walk over a glass floor, which is the map of Europe, with all these sites of concentration camps, extermination camps, mass shooting sites. So it really is a recreation, not just of that annex, but really of Europe during the Holocaust.
So I know that you're encouraging school kids to come see it, but families as well. It's open 6 days a week, right?
It's open 6 days a week. We have designed it for a general public, but of course, we have specifically geared the exhibition to the young generation. They are, you know, education is focus, but I would really like to stress also as we go to International Holocaust Remembrance Day. And I brought a picture here, and if you can see this picture.
Yes.
We all know who the girl is on the left side of this. On the right side, you see a little boy who was born on the very same day as Anne, who lived 1 block away from where she lived, who was murdered in Auschwitz in 1943. And we know nothing about him. We know nothing about him. So, as Primo Levi once said, the Italian writer and Holocaust survivor, one single Anne Frank moves us more than the countless others who suffered just as she did and whose faces remain in the shadows. This is such a face. And if this exhibition is anything, it's not just a tribute to Anne Frank, it's also a tribute to this little boy, and it's also a tribute to the 1.5 million Jewish children who were murdered by other human beings for the single reason that they were Jewish.
Which is why it also opens on Holocaust Remembrance Day. Monday, the exhibition opens down at Union Square, and it's open until April 30th, Sundays through Friday.
Make sure you get tickets.
We will. Thank you so much, Ronald Leopold, for joining us and for bringing this exhibit here to New York and just reminding people, you know, 80 years after this diary was written, it's still important.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.